I certainly can, yes. So we have a nice fossil just down here. So this is, you can probably tell what this is, it's a couple of little fish there. So you've got several different ways of identifying fossils. Most of the time they are easily identifiable because they look like the creature that they used to be. So clearly you can tell that this is a fish. You still see fish today, you still recognise fish. So a lot of the times they look like the fossils, or they look like the creatures that they used to be. Other times it can be a little bit trickier. So this is also a fossil, and you'd be mistaken to think that this is just a pile of rock. But I can tell you that this is actually something called coprolite, which is fossil dung. This is actually fossil dinosaur dung. So that's a little bit harder to identify unless you know what you're looking for. It basically comes down to knowledge and sort of expertise of knowing what to look for. But fossils come in all sorts of range of shapes and sizes, but most of the time you can recognise a fossil because it looks like the living creature that it used to be. So this one is a great fossil to show. This is actually a real dinosaur egg. We were very blessed to be able to have this provided to the museum in Norfolk where I work. It's covered in eggshell. You can see the dinosaur eggshell in there, and there will be a baby dinosaur inside there. We don't know exactly what stage of development it would be because it's quite expensive to get them x-rayed and see it inside. We have got plans to do that, but I haven't got around to it yet. But this is a real dinosaur egg. So again, this is what would be actually known as a trace fossil because it's evidence of another dinosaur that obviously laid the egg. Although it has got a baby dinosaur inside, it's still classed as a trace fossil, something that is come from another creature. That's a dinosaur tooth there. So again, looks like a tooth, obviously from a creature much bigger than anything we can see today, but that's from a dinosaur tooth. And you've even got a baby T-Rex tooth as well. So fossils generally, yeah, they look like what you expect them to look like. Sometimes they can be tiny little fragmented pieces and bits, and it's really, sometimes you'll never know exactly what dinosaur it's come from because they're, or what creature it's come from because they're in tiny little fragmented pieces. But you can always tell whether it's bone or a bit of shell or something like that. The big thing here is a fossil fish skull. Now it's interesting how we actually found this. You can kind of see it's got its eye down here. You can see it's got its mouth that curls round there. It's even got a little fin at the side here. So this is a fish fossil called Lepidotus. They're quite common in the fossil record. They're quite easily identifiable by their large shiny scales. They're one of what's known as the armoured fish. So they've got these lovely big shiny scales over it. Now this was actually found in a pile of coal in somebody's home. I was visiting their home, and in their bucket of coal in the sort of the Midlands of the UK, I found it and I was like, oh look, you've got a fossil fish skull there. And they weren't too bothered about it, so they said I could keep it. So I thought, oh, thank you very much. Because what you actually find is where these fish come from, you've got the coal seams in the rock, and then just above you've got this little layer of fossils. And obviously just got churned up in the fossil, in the coal, and then got, deposited in this person's coal box and found by me. So it's a real amazing find because it's actually quite rare to have them that well preserved from the coal seam. So that was a real blessing to be able to find that. So yeah, a fish skull. Also notice interestingly about the fish skull, it's also squashed to one side. You can see it's been caved in there, and also the mouth is a bit squashed to one side. So that has been put under a lot of pressure to be able to fossilise it. So in other words, it hasn't been sitting around for a long time waiting to be fossilised. It's been fossilised quickly, it's been fossilised deeply because a lot of pressure has been put onto it, so evidence of very quick rapid burial as well.